And so we light a candle and say, we light the Hanukkah candles from left to right tonight. We light the Hanukkah candles from left to right. I said tonight, we light the Hanukkah candles from left to right. Tonight we light the Hanukkah candles from left to right.
Nes gadol hayasham, Nes gadol hayasham. I believe in the power of a little bit of light. And I believe the smallest among us can win the fight. I'm not afraid to show my faith still glows, and so everyone will know I put these lights inside my window to light up, light up, light up the night. Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. Goes the Jewish people had to take a chance. The oil glowed. They lit one not knowing if it would last. They took a leap of faith with those dreams to chase, and so although they could not know, that little light began to glow and light up, light up, light up the night. Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. It's up to you, and I believe in you. It's true, I do, I truly do. So tell me truly, do you want to light up, light up, light up the night? Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. I believe the power of a little bit of light.
Choice you're gonna have to make, which to put on your potato cakes. Applesauce versus sour cream, applesauce or sour cream. Now it's the choice you're gonna have to make. Tell your mom to fry, not bake. Now life has many decisions, it moves in all directions. This is just one huge, enormous, big decision you have to make. have to make it. Alright, listen up. One has fruit and one has milk. If you're lactose intolerant, then take a pill now. It's the choice you're gonna have to make. The grease is starting to coagulate. Your lawyer called, said everything's fine. Potato contracts have been signed. Yeah, I think your heart just skipped a beat. You can't wait for your greasy treat now. Life has many decisions. It moves in all directions. This is just one huge, enormous, big decision you have to make. You have to make it. You must decide. Da-da-da-dum, 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 dum-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. You have to make it. Jews have to make.
מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, אותן מי ימנה. מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, מי ימלל. מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, אותן מי ימנה. מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, אותן מי ימנה. שב הימים ההם בזמן הזה, מכבי מושיע ופודה. שב הימים ההם בזמן הזה, מכבי מושיע ופודה. מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, אותן מי ימנה. מי ימלל גבולות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, מי ימלל. ולימינו כל עם ישראל יתאחד, יקום ויגאל.
Shabbat Shalom and happy Hanukkah. Glad to have all of you here with us this evening, whether you're here with us on Zoom or on Facebook Live or on one of our many live stream services. It's fantastic to be able to be together and not only say goodbye to the week that has passed and the week that is to come, but celebrate the Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, together. It's pretty dark outside, and that's not by accident. Hanukkah occurs at the darkest time of the year, and it is all the more powerful as we light that menorah, starting last night with just our shamash and one candle, and building up over the 8 nights until it is all aglow. And it reminds us that even in the darkest times, there are light within ourselves and all around us to inspire us to keep going. Tonight is a very special Shabbat. We're going to honor our consecrants. We're going to have some fun Hanukkah celebrations. And you may not know this, I'll give you a little halachic teaching. Once we've lit Shabbos candles, it's technically Shabbat and no more fire can be lit. So if you were ever wondering whether you're supposed to light your menorah or your Shabbos candles first, it's very clear we start with our menorah. So Rebecca Seacrest, who is the chair of our religious school committee, is going to lead us in the blessings. If you haven't lit your menorah yet, join us or use this. Maybe you lit at 5 p.m. when we had our amazing second night concert. It's all good. We can just keep lighting menorahs all night long. Okay, Rebecca, and who else is there? Cool. All right.
The lights of Hanukkah are a symbol of our joy. In times of darkness, our ancestors had the courage to struggle for freedom. Freedom to be themselves, freedom to worship in their own way. Theirs was a victory of the weak over the strong, the few over the many, and the righteous over the ignorant. It is a victory for all ages and all peoples. As we light these Hanukkah lights, may we remember the miracles and wonders, the salvation and battles that you, O God, won for our ancestors, seeing their glow as holy.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avotenu, Bayamim ha'el ba'azman hazeh.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of them all, of the all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who performed miracles for our ancestors at this season in ancient days.
Thank you, Rebecca and Jason. Chag Urim Sameach to everyone. We're going to turn now to page 3 in our Siddur. There's a link, if I haven't said it already, in our chat or in the Facebook comments or right below our live stream screen. And Corey Palmer is going to lead us in the reading before that blessing.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Please join me in Kiddush on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maseh v'reshit, Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'anim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
We turn now to page 12 as we welcome Shabbat with song Singing L'chun Aranana.
Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God a new song. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, בזמירות נריע לו. יא לי 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 לי, יא 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 לי לי li li li. Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God a new song. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. And we continue with Tov Lehodot on page 22, the third line down in the Hebrew. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות אדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Turn back to page 20 with us as we make ready to welcome the Sabbath bride, as we all sing L'cha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1 and 2, 5 and 9. And when we reach verse 9, B'wi v'shalom, we rise wherever we are in our Mikdash Ma'at, our own personal sanctuary, to welcome that Sabbath spirit. And we think about being here in the sanctuary all together, but we are gladdened and strengthened by the knowledge that all of us are united, whether we're here on Zoom, on Facebook, on live stream, wherever we are. We know Jews all around the world are celebrating Shabbat and also Hanukkah. Join with us and sing, as Rabbi Jurgen likes to say, until your muted sign comes up on your screen.
Lecha dodi licha kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi licha kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, u'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi licha kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi licha kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha, ihi mekor haberacha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, ola Tochelune am segula Lo yichala Lecha dodi likatala Yalala 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 Shabbat Kabela Lecha dodi likatala Yalala 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 Shabbat Nekabela.
We invite you to turn on your camera and unmute yourselves for just a moment so we can all wish each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Shabbos.
Shalom, everybody.
We're going to continue our service on page 26 with L'Chatzi Kaddish. If you're still standing, I invite you to keep standing until through the Shema.
Number 6.
Yitkadav yitkadash me'rab amen Be'alma divrach erutev yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yamechon Uv'chayedecha Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala Uv'izman kariv V'yimeru amen Yehesh me'raba mevorach Le'olam olam me'amaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitjamam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitale V'yitala shemei kedusha B'richu Leila min kol birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma V'yimeru amen.
On page 30, we continue with Ma'ariv Aravim, praising God for the gift of creation. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishane etim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmero tehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 32, we read the English together. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevon Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanacha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha, b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha, u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam leot ayadecha, v'hayu litotafot b'neinecha, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Emet. On page 39 on the top, we read our Geula prayer of redemption together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. On page 42. Grant, O God, that we may lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We rise now for the tefillah on page 46.
Adonai svatai tiftach. Adonai svatai tiftach. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai svatai tiftach. Adonai svatai tiftach. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomer Chesrim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. בנאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. On page 55, we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. On page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy of our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. On Hanukkah, there is generally a special insertion in this next prayer, our hoda'ah, or modim, our prayer of thanksgiving. And so we are going to highlight this prayer in our service, knowing that Hanukkah is all about giving thanks and praise to God for the miracle of light. We have some participants. So if you are a participant, I invite you to turn on your screen and unmute yourself. And we will share this special modim reading that is not in your prayer book.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive from our families, celebrating sacred moments together, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive when we are with community, sharing and supporting each other's lives, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive, looking back to the strength you instilled within our ancestors, fighting for freedom, finding strength in ourselves, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive by supporting and visiting the land of Israel, the homeland of our people, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive, celebrating the victory of the Maccabees, who at this time in ancient days not only kindled sacred light, but created a bridge to a Jewish future we have inherited. We give thanks.
There we go.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive by celebrating the victories of our own time, acknowledging the modern Maccabees in our midst, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive from an ever-abiding hope that our world will one day be free of fear and violence and pain, we give thanks.
Modim anachnu lach. For the light of blessing we receive as we strive to create that world, a world filled with family and faith, community and commitment, with warmth and strength, with peace, we give thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'el hodot. Blessed are you, eternal God, your name is goodness. To you we give thanks. Amen. And thank you to all our participants. We have a special Hanukkah song blessing that we're going to share now. Yes, Cantor Berlin, in celebration of Hanukkah.
Yes.
Let's
Wonderful. Everyone can give a little applause if they want. With the festivities of Hanukkah in our hearts, that does not mean that there are not those among us in need of healing. And so at this moment, we're going to pause and offer prayers for those who face the future not fully whole, those who are in our community, those who we hold in our hearts, those around our world who are suffering from the effects of COVID-19. We think about all of them. Take a moment and whisper the names of those you love out loud as Cantor Berlin leads us in our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Misha Berach Avotenu Kol HaBracha L'Imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Kol HaBracha L'Avotenu. Those in need of healing, refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Please now take a moment for your own silent prayers. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Hanukkah is, as many of us know, a minor festival in our Jewish tradition, and it is really only in its juxtaposition to Christmas that it gets lots of bells and whistles. But that doesn't mean that it's not an important part of our Jewish identity. If we think about the story of Hanukkah, which we're going to hear about just in a few moments, it is very much about being brave, about being willing to stand up for what you believe in, even if the culture that surrounds you seems to be telling you that your faith and your identity shouldn't matter. It is an anti-assimilationist story and reminds us that with faith and creativity and bravery, we're able to accomplish more than we might ever imagine. Some of my rabbinic colleagues, Aaron Polanski, Daniel Groper, and Daniel Moskowitz, put together an amazing illustrated story of Hanukkah. And what's even better is they left space for whoever wanted to do the narration. So I now present to you an illustrated Hanukkah story. The story of Hanukkah happened a long time ago, around 165 years before the year zero. At that time, the Jews mostly lived in Israel, and their holy temple was in the city of Jerusalem. The temple was the most special place for the Jewish people. The temple had a holy ark, a cabinet that holds the Torah. Above the ark hung the eternal light, a special oil lamp that had to stay lit at all times, day and night. Whenever it was about to go out, someone in charge of the oil would pour new oil into it to keep it burning. A mean king named Antiochus came to rule over the land of Israel. I don't like the Jewish people, declared Antiochus. They are so different from me. They pray to only one God, and I pray to many gods. They don't celebrate my holidays. They think their Torah is the holiest book, and I don't think so. Antiochus ordered all of the Jewish people to stop being Jewish. Anyone caught doing Jewish things would be killed. Antiochus sent his soldiers to make the holy Jewish temple into a temple for his gods. They broke the ark and smashed the jars of oil. They put statues of their gods in the temple and brought in other unholy and dirty things like pigs and birds. This made the Jews really sad. Some Jews even got angry. One Jew named Mattathias had 5 sons. Mattathias, and especially his son Judah, could not stand the thought of their holy temple being so dirtied and wrecked. They told all the Jews, we must rise up and fight for our holy temple. At first, the followers of Mattathias and Judah, who were called the Maccabees, were afraid. Judah, they said, Antiochus has so many soldiers. They have big weapons and wear armor. They even use elephants to fight their battles. We don't have weapons or armor or elephants. How could we possibly fight against Antiochus and his army? Judah replied, if we think hard and plan carefully, God will help us win our temple back. And that is what they did. The Maccabees realized that even though Antiochus and his army had weapons and armor and elephants, the Maccabees knew the land. They could get around in the hills at night because this was their home and they grew up on those hills. They used their brains and their creativity to take the mean army by surprise, and with God's help, the Maccabees chased Antiochus and his army out of Israel. The first thing the Maccabees did was to go to their holy temple in Jerusalem. They repaired the ark and the stones that were broken. When they tried to light the eternal light, they discovered that Antiochus and his soldiers had broken all the jars of oil. This wasn't just any oil, this was a special holy oil. They searched and searched until at last they found one tiny jar of pure oil. But the jar only had enough oil in it to burn for 1 day. It would take 8 days to travel to get more oil. The Maccabees decided to light the lamp anyway, and that's when a miracle happened. The little bit of oil that should have burned out after just 1 day lasted for 8 whole days. The Jews were overjoyed. First, their small army chased away the strong, powerful army of Antiochus, and now the tiny bit of oil lasted for 8 days. Was it luck, or was it God helping the Jews who had decided to stand up for themselves? The Jewish people celebrated and thanked God for all these things. Ever since that time long ago, Jews light the Hanukkah, a candle holder with 8 candles, plus 1 to do the lighting, to remember the special miracles that happened so long ago. Pretty cool technology there, huh? Just another fun way to tell the story of Hanukkah and remind us how important it is to not only dedicate the sanctuary, but to rededicate ourselves to lifelong Jewish learning and to the strength of our Jewish community, which is the very reason why tonight we are going to offer special blessings for our newest religious school students. Consecration was not exactly what we were hoping it was going to be this year, having not been able to gather in person for so long. But nevertheless, we, like our ancestors before us, are innovative and creative and brave. And so this is phase one of consecration, though our students have been studying for many months now. So we are going to share in a special blessing that's going to involve our parents too. We're going to do a screen share once again. And Joel and Stephanie Swedlove, because they're here, and are going to read the part of parents out loud, because if all the parents read out loud together unmuted, it will be a mess, but they'll read for you. But you, other parents, should certainly plan on reading along as well. And so we consecrate our wonderful students.
To consecrate means to connect with something that is holy. Throughout our tradition, Jewish learning is considered a sacred task. On this Shabbat Hanukkah, a celebration of rededication and light, we are proud to welcome you as our newest students. May you always find joy in Jewish learning.
May the teachings of our tradition inspire you to act with kindness and compassion for others, working in partnership with God to better our world.
Eternal God, bless these children now and always. May the words of Torah always be sweet to them, and the life of Torah bring light to their eyes and joy to their hearts. This day we consecrate them to the study of your teaching. As they grow in learning, may they grow in wisdom, bringing honor to themselves, their family, their congregation, and the house of Israel. Amen.
We give thanks for you, Ethan. You are a precious gift entrusted to us as a sacred responsibility. May we find wisdom to raise you in the tradition of our people, the tradition of Torah and mitzvot, of love and good deeds, of thoughtful search for light. This moment, we consecrate our child and rededicate ourselves to learn Torah and to live it. Let the joy we feel now always be with us as we walk the paths of life.
So the cantor and I are going to share Birkat Kohanim, though we are not there with you to put our hands over the heads of your children. I'm going to invite all of you to put your hands on the shoulders or on the head of your child who's being consecrated as we share in this blessing.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisai Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God bestow favor upon you and grant you the most precious of blessings, the blessing of love and friendship, happiness and peace. King Yiratzon, so may it be God's will. We ask parents to share in this blessing that we put on our screen, but we also ask them to share their own personal blessings. And so we're now going to present, I think, a very, very sweet video for all of us to enjoy.
We are gifts.
Dear Emily, I want you to know that I'm very proud of you since the first moment I held you in my arms. Your personality is so spunky, and I love how you always want to make everybody laugh and have a good time. So continue spreading joy and cheer and happiness in this world. As you enter a new chapter in your life, embrace the virtues and the beautiful traditions of our religion. Be proud of who you are and never let anybody tell you that you're less because you're Jewish, you're a woman, or a Hispanic. Be proud of who you are and embrace it. As well as I know you're going to be a great scholar and you're going to do so wonderful in life. So I want you to know that I love you and I wish you the best and love you.
The door vador nagid golef.
Sweet Adam, you are so loved always, no matter what, no matter where. May you always feel this loved and share it with others.
The door vador.
Ethan, my blessing is the same for you. You are so loved always, no matter what, no matter where you are. May you always feel this loved and share it with others.
Looking back.
Franklin, we are so proud of you as you begin your Jewish learning.
May it help guide you throughout your life, help you find purpose, and build community throughout your life.
From
We
the
love you.
shadow of the mountain to the water.
Our blessing for you is to always be true to yourself. Be caring and loving in all situations in life. Be a good human and always be humble. May Adonai keep you and bless you with his gracious love every step of your life journey.
Have your own relationship with God. You be you, and most importantly, love is love.
Mommy and Daddy are so proud of you, Addie Faith, as you choose the path of learning, celebrating, and living your Jewish faith. To the moon and back.
The door vador, we protect this chain.
Jordan, you are so incredibly loved by so many people. My blessing for you is that you continue to show your kindness and love and share it with those around you.
These lips will praise your name.
Ethan, may you never lose your sense of right and wrong, of fairness and equality, and that everyone should be cared for. Pirkei Avot teaches that the wisest people are those that learn from others, so never lose your inquisitive nature or sense of wonder for the world around you. Remember that nothing is impossible when you have the support of the people who love you. We love you and are so, so proud of you. Love, Mom and Dad.
The door vador, nagid go.
Dear Ethan, as you begin your Jewish journey, we hope it is filled with many wonderful experiences and opportunities to learn about yourself and your Jewish culture.
We hope that you always follow your curiosity and imagination wherever it may lead you. No matter what obstacles lie in your way, your family will always be there to support you.
We love you always.
Congratulations on your consecration. Love, Mom and Dad.
The future's looking bright. And I know our consecration students are going to receive their certificate in the mail soon. Right, Leah? Very nice. We're going to continue with the concluding portion of our service. Aleinu is on page 283. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. As we turn to page 289 for our memorial meditation, we note with sadness the death of Herbert Charles, father of Stephen Charles and Phyllis and John Patterson, brother-in-law of Sarah Yaron and Ruth Chaffetz, grandfather of Dr. Laura Dean, Kyle Charles, Sam Kalista, and Austin Kalista, and 4 great-grandchildren. A private family service will be held. We also note with sadness the death of Pedro Rosas Jr., father of Christina Weinfeld Rosas. Funeral services are pending. I share with you meditation number 3 by Rabbi Chaim Stern. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in the light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. On this Shabbat, we consecrate the yahrzeits observed in our congregation of Melvin Abramson, Rose Alden, Norbert T. Auerbach, Samuel Barshot, Henrietta Blend, Anne Brenner, Erlene Burris, Leah Burstein, Irene Poland Cohen, Leslie N. Dale, Lionel K. Dalkowitz, Jean Dougherty, Miriam Densky, Elvira Reel Downing, Esther Iklov, Miriam Eisner, Caroline Farkas, Milton Fink, Pearl Frost, Abraham Goodman, Moisha Gurvich, Sarah Gurwitz, Betty Lindheim Hilton, William Jesse Hockersmith, Blanche Johnson, Morris Julius, Ruth Dietz Kirby, Lena Kolodny, Amelie L. Amy Coppell, Cecilia Landy, Henrietta Lang, Samuel Lauber, Lorraine Lauderstein, Dorothy Lane, Brenda Margie Levo, Alex Levinson, Arthur Levy, Joseph Levy, Diana Novi Lown, Dennis McCune, Francis Michael, Drew Michaels, Joseph Saul Mindus, Stanley A. Mindus, Abraham Lewis Newmark, Julie Freeman Novich, Betty Osmat, James Anthony Patterson, William Panansky, Isidore Portnoy, Frida Radinsky, Charles Carsey Rado, Dorothy Ratner, Barbara Rich, Joe Rabinowitz, Sybil Rosenman, Bernard Rubin, Joe Rubin, Abraham Sandfield, Harry Shames, Barbara Schneider, Bernhard Schneider, Theo Schrader, Tilly Setlow, Elizabeth Simon, Wilma Simpson, Troy Allen Stein, Paul Verrett, Minna Waxberg, Bonnie Wallace, and Leon C. Sonny Wolf Jr. To their memories, we link the names of those who in the last 30 days, Shloshim, have been laid to their eternal rest: Fred Cabby, Tevia Lee Friedman, Mildred Vogel Ehrenberg, Amy Wolf, and Annette Dover. To their memories, we link the names of 4 who died this past week or were laid to rest this past week, their families observing the period of Shiva. Gerald Dubinsky Sr., husband of Marilyn, father of Gerald Jr. and Stephen and Cindy Dubinsky, grandfather of Andrew Dubinsky, Alyssa Dubinsky, Nancy and Matthew Weber, Marilyn Leah Dubinsky, great-grandfather of Teddy and Luke Weber, brother of Hattie Lee Glickenhaus, and uncle of Barry and Stuart Glickenhaus. Benedito Oliveira, father of Marcos Oliveira and Gabriela Renbeck Oliveira, grandfather of Isaac Renbeck Oliveira. Samuel Wagner Stewart, son of Dale Kurtz, grandson of Barbara Jew. And Jody Hoffer, father of Pamela Hoffer and Mark Wallach, Wendy and Ira Blywaus, Bruce and Arlette Hoffer, and Scott and Gail Hoffer, grandfather of 12 children and great-grandfather of 2. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing, along with the memories of those that we hold in our own hearts each and every day. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise together, united in spirit and heart and community. Turning to page 294 to share in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish together. Git gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, ve'ama divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei tzachol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam omeo maya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudasha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiram ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu va'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. There were a whole bunch of activities that were highlighted on the share screen before we started services. I hope you've been enjoying our nightly concerts. The first two have been fantastic. Every night of Hanukkah at 5 p.m., we are live premiering a different concert, but you can go back and watch them on Facebook or on our live stream as well. And we've got Dan Nichols tomorrow, not to be missed. We also have our paper midrash program. If you recall, Shauna and Isaac, they were here a few years ago. They're super clever and interesting. I invite you to check that out on Zoom. So many other things. You should read the weekly email that comes out 4 p.m. on the dot every single week. So many wonderful things to be participating in. Even though we can't be physically together, we still are connected in so many ways. Our closing song in honor of Hanukkah is Ma'ot Tzor. You can find it on page 365.
Ma'ot Tzor Yeshuati, Chana El Shabeach, Tikon B'Tefilati, V'Shan Toda Nizabeach, L'Tachin Matbeach, L'Tzam Nebeach, Azek Mor B'Shir Mizmor, Chanukat HaMizbeach, Azek Mor B'Shir Mizmor, Chanukat HaMizbeach, Rock of Ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your armor veiled us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
Mazel tov to our consecrants and their families. Special thanks to Rebecca Seacrest and Corey Palmer, to Terry Glazer, Bart Sherwood, Betty Indick, Julie Zucker, Leah Apotheker, Corey Palmer again for participating in our service. Kol Simcha sounded amazing. Just a evening full of wonderful riches. Shabbat Shalom. We invite you to turn on your screen, unmute yourself to say Shabbat Shalom to each other. One last time.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Congratulations on consecration.
Shalom.
Mazel tov. Shabbat Shalom.
Tonight we light the Hanukkah candles from left to right.